Alright, last week we looked at ratios and proportions and solving proportional equations. So we're going to kind of extend that this week and look at just some word problems that deal with proportions. And those are typically going to be done with scale drawings. So the sheet says a scale drawing is a drawing of a real object in which all of the dimensions are proportional to the real object. A scale drawing can be larger or smaller than the object it represents. The scale is the ratio of the drawing size to the actual size of the object. Now we have an example. It says a drawing of a person has a scale of 2 inches that equals in real life 1 foot. If the drawing is 11 inches high, how tall is the person? So you can see they set up an equation 2 over 1, that's representing 2 inches over 1 foot, equals 11 over n. 11 representing the number of inches tall the drawing is, over n, which represents the number of feet tall of the person. So what you would do to solve this is cross multiply. They did 1 times 11 equals n times 2. To solve that, you would write it as 11 equals 2n, divide both sides by 2, and you get n equals 11 over 2, which they have represented as a mixed number as 5.5. So the person is 5.5 feet tall. So you have some examples that you're going to do with this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and do one more with you just to make sure you feel a little more comfortable with it. So the directions say to write a proportion for each problem, then solve the problem. So number 1 says a map of Ohio uses a scale of 1 inch equals 11 miles. The map is 20 inches wide. How wide is Ohio? So I'm going to end up doing inches over miles. And the main thing is that you need to keep it equals inches over miles because they're proportions. The top should be representing the same type of measure and the bottom should be representing the same type of measure. So for this example, we're going to have 1 over 11, 1 inch over 11 miles, equals 1 represented inches. So the map is 20 inches wide, so we're going to put 20 over, and it wants to know how wide it is. So you can either put an N, an X, a W for wide. You can put whatever variable here you want. So that's my proportion, so I do need to solve it. So I'm just going to bring it over here so I can have a little bit more room to solve. So we're going to cross multiply. So 1 times x equals 11 times 20. Well, 1 times x is x, and 11 times 20 is 220. So Ohio is 220 miles wide. So now what I want you to do is finish the rest of the problems.